So, per Ariel Helwani, Anthony Joshua versus Francis Ngannou is a done deal, a 10-round boxing match in Saudi Arabia later this year. And I would just like to say I am 100% on board for Ngannou's current side mission of trying to destroy the sport of boxing. That Tyson Fury fight was already irreparable damage to the sport, and if Ngannou can go out there and finish Anthony Joshua, I'll be the first to say it. Boxing's more fake than Sambo. And this should go without even being said, but of course I am on Team MMA here and I am rooting for Ngannou. But with that being said, my first thought when this fight got announced was that Francis had some inherent advantages going into the Fury fight that he no longer has now. And I think the biggest advantage there was probably the fact that nobody thought Ngannou had a shot. Now, I'm sure just by me saying that, there's going to be a select few in the comments going, no, I was 100% sure Ngannou can win. In fact, like, all my buddies thought that too. We all got matching Ngannou beating Tyson Fury tattoos on our chest because we all knew 100% chance he was going to win. Okay, all right, sure. I guess I'll take your word for it. I don't know where the fuck you were before the fight, but now that you're telling me after, I guess I have to believe you. But point is, all Ngannou had to do to win the night was just land a few punches. That was it. If he did that, it was a success for him. Now, of course, he went way beyond that and actually almost won the fight, knocking Fury down, which catapulted him into the heavyweight boxing conversation. Now, the issue is, Ngannou now has real expectations on him for this fight. He doesn't just need to go out there and land a couple punches and look somewhat decent to gain respect. People are expecting this to be a real competitive fight now. And don't misquote me, I think Ngannou is 100% capable of making this a very competitive fight. But this does lead us into disadvantage number 2. No one had any idea what Ngannou was going to look like just boxing. It was all a giant mystery. Now, I'm sure Tyson Fury respected Ngannou. He said himself he thought he was dangerous, but he was convinced that he was going to go out there and put a boxing clinic on him. And honestly, you can't blame Tyson for feeling that way. And that's why he was opening this fight up with 1-2s right down the middle. He was not hiding behind his jab. He wasn't sticking and moving. He was trying to land power shots because he didn't think Ngannou had anything for him. But we all learned very quickly that Francis is an absolute tank. Not a single punch from Fury seemed to bother him at all, no matter how cleanly it landed. And we also saw that Francis had legitimate boxing fundamentals. He didn't just run in lunging punches like he did against Rosenstrike. He was working behind his jab and just waiting to land a lead hook counter from the very beginning. And it eventually opened up when Fury threw a 1-2 right down the middle, right in range. Ngannou caught the punches on his arms, landed the counter. And it was that moment Tyson realized he underestimated this guy. So he decided to switch up his game plan just a little bit. Now, what Fury loves doing is clinching with his opponents and weighing down on them, because he has 300 pounds of body fat. And he used this strategy to severely weaken Deontay Wilder when they fought. But when he tried doing this to Ngannou, who weighs almost as much as Fury does, but is all muscle, Tyson was getting ragdolled. He was getting thrown around. Ngannou would use his forearm to frame Fury's head and was landing short punches in the clinch, absolutely dominating him there. So Fury finally decides to go to plan C, which is just jab and move, jab and move. He did that the last 2 rounds, winning those and just narrowly getting the decision. Now, in hindsight, he should have done that from the start. But nobody realized how dangerous Francis really was. Not until that fight happened. But now, Joshua has the luxury of being able to see exactly how Francis fights in a boxing ring. He sees what his strengths are, he understands the power and the strength in the clinch, and now he can game plan for all that. The question we're left with now is, it was clear that Ngannou had a game plan for that Tyson Fury fight, and he executed it beautifully. Can he switch it up, and can he show us new tricks that we haven't seen before? Because Anthony Joshua is a very different fight than Tyson Fury. In certain aspects, it might be an easier fight for Ngannou, because the one massive advantage Fury had over him was his height and his reach. Now, AJ is listed at 6'6". That is horseshit. He is no more than 6'5 and a half. I wouldn't be surprised if he was 6'5 flat. So he's not just going to be able to maintain distance with a jab as easily as Fury was able to do. He's going to have to fight in the pocket more, which we know that's where Ngannou is going to want to be. Now, the slight issue is AJ's specialty is explosive counters and combinations in close. He is so good at using his head movement to cut a slight angle and then punishing you in the middle of your combination. And like I just mentioned, nasty combinations in close. Now, on occasion, his willingness to fight in the pocket has failed him, like the first time he fought Andy Ruiz. Despite dropping him in close with a combination, the thing about Ruiz is he's got hands like a middleweight, and you're just playing his game fighting in the pocket. Though AJ fixed this in the rematch and stayed as far away as possible and cruised to an easy decision, jabbing and moving. But the fact of the matter when it comes to this fight is he has a lot on the line. How willing is he going to be to lunge in with power shots on Francis? And if he lands, is he even going to be able to hurt Ngannou? I'd argue Joshua definitely hits harder than Fury does. But given Francis was unfazed by all of Fury's punches, he didn't even flinch to the elbow he landed flush on him. So, we really have no idea. To me, the thing we know for 100% certainty after the Fury fight was that if Francis had never boxed before, and this fight against Anthony Joshua was his first time, he would have a ton of success because you know Joshua wouldn't have taken him seriously. But now AJ is in the position where he understands how dangerous Francis is. So most likely this means that Joshua is going to stick to the fundamentals. Power for power, strength for strength, he is outclassed against Francis. But he's an Olympic gold medalist with decades of boxing experience, and if he sticks to boxing and plays it very, very safe, I think it's a tough fight for Ngannou. But think about it. The entire sport of boxing is on this guy's shoulders. If he loses this, the sport's done. It's finished. It's never going to recover. Can he handle that pressure against somebody that can put his lights out with one punch? That's what makes this fight so interesting. It's that, and also the fact that Dana White is probably seething right now. I mean, what kind of news does he have to match this? That it's confirmed that Leon Edwards is going to fight Amir Mohammed at UFC 300 in the main event? That's all he's got, and that's nothing. Francis is absolutely owning him right now, and I love it. Take the monopoly away from the company.